Hey everyone, let's travel back in time to a really old place. A place between two big rivers called the Tigris and the Euphrates. This is Mesopotamia, which means the land between the rivers. It's like the grandmother of all civilizations where people first started writing down history. We're talking about modern-day Iraq, a place where so many important things happened that changed the world. From simple tools to amazing cities, the clever things people created in Mesopotamia shaped everything that came after. We can still see their influence today in our laws, languages, and how we see the world. Come on, let's go on an adventure through time and discover the empires and inventions that rose and fell in this special place. Our story about ancient Iraq doesn't start with powerful kings or tall buildings, but with simple beginnings. Way back in the Stone Age, groups of people who moved around to find food lived in the areas between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These clever people learned how to use everything around them, hunting animals like gazelle and boar and collecting wild grains and fruits. But then, something big happened. People started planting crops and keeping animals, which meant they could stay in one place. This was the start of farming, and it changed everything. Small villages began to pop up, and people started building houses out of mud bricks. Pretty smart, right? Their tools, made from stone and bone, got better and better, helping them with farming and everyday life. This was the beginning of something amazing. Around 3,500 years before anything you can think of, something new and exciting happened in Mesopotamia. The Sumerian civilization was born. In the south, city-states like Ur, Uruk, and Eridu became important centers of power. The Sumerians were incredible builders. They built impressive cities out of mud bricks with tall ziggurats, those pyramid-like temples reaching for the sky. But their most amazing invention was Cuneiform, a way of writing using wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets. This was huge. Now they could write down their history, laws, and even stories. It changed how people talked to each other forever. As cities grew bigger and more complicated, they needed strong leaders. That's when kings came along, not just to lead armies, but also to connect with the gods for the people. Now, let's talk about the Akkadians, a group of people who lived north of the Sumerians. They decided to challenge the Sumerians' power. Led by a powerful leader named Sargon the Great, the Akkadians went on a mission to conquer the Sumerian city-states. Around 2334 BC, Sargon became the big boss of Mesopotamia, creating the world's very first empire, the Akkadian Empire. Sargon's empire stretched all the way from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea, changing the political map forever. The Akkadians learned a lot from the Sumerians, adopting their writing system and building styles. But their time in power didn't last forever. Fights within the empire and attacks from outside made it weak, and eventually it crumbled. After the Akkadian Empire fell apart, Mesopotamia went through some tough times. It was like a game of tug-of-war, with different city-states fighting for control. But then, around 1792 BC, a new superpower emerged, Babylon. Under the rule of Hammurabi, Babylon became super strong and important. Hammurabi was a clever leader and a brilliant general who defeated his enemies and brought all of Mesopotamia back together under Babylonian rule. But Hammurabi is most famous for something else, something even more powerful than his armies. His famous law code, the Code of Hammurabi. This code, written on a giant stone pillar, had almost 300 laws about everything you can imagine. Buying and selling, owning things, family matters, and even what happened if someone broke the law. The Code of Hammurabi, which focused on fairness and punishment, influenced law systems for centuries.